There's this thing Trump does at rallies where he claims that the cameras in the back suddenly turn off when he starts criticizing the media. He said this again on Friday, Daniel, and it was a lie again, right?
It was a lie again. We had a photojournalist on scene who never stopped recording, and even when he does stop recording, there's no light on his camera that turns on and off. He has it permanently set to off. And so this is the president looking his supporters in the eye and telling them that something in that very room that they all are sharing together is happening when it's not. I think this is egregious lying, and not just because I now work for CNN.
And it's such a specific detail. I think that's what is striking about it, and that's why I'm glad you highlighted it this weekend. When we know for a fact that Trump is lying to his crowd about CNN turning off a live feed of his rally, if we know that, and we do, then doesn't that make us doubt everything else he's saying? Or rather, shouldn't that make us doubt everything else he's saying?
Yeah, I think he's given us reason to doubt literally everything he's saying. I think one of the things that distinguishes Trump as a liar is that he lies about even the most trivial stuff, even the most obvious stuff. So it's not just the typical political lying to defend oneself against a scandal when backed into a corner. He is proactively lying about tiny stuff all the time.
And this brings us to the al-Baghdadi raid from last weekend, because the president claimed repeatedly that this dead terrorist was whimpering and crying right before he blew himself up. The New York Times has looked into this in more detail, found multiple sources in the Defense Department who have no idea what the president's talking about. And we've heard from the Defense Secretary and others on the record saying they can't confirm any whimpering, any crying. It does seem the president made up these details about what was a excellent day for the United States military, and yet Trump took it too far. He made up these details about a terrorist whimpering and crying. How do you handle this when you can't definitively prove that he's making it up, but he's lost the benefit of the doubt on these issues?
So I still try to give Trump maximal benefit of the doubt, even after thousands of lies and other false claims. So I don't think at this point that I'm going to include that on my weekly list of false claims, because there is still some tiny possibility, even if it seems highly unlikely, that he is not making this up. So I think what we do in these cases where it's not sure is that we provide the context. We provide the quote if we need to, and then we say the commander of Central Command, the Secretary of Defense, and other defense officials said they cannot confirm these details. Give readers the context and help them understand at least.
Right, present it all in that way. Daniel, do you think that there is measurably a worsening that's happening? Meaning, are there a greater volume of lies now than a year ago?
So a year ago actually was his peak, because it was the midterm campaign period, and as I said to you earlier, there seemed to be a deliberate strategy of dishonesty during the run-up to that 2018 vote. But this period is, he is being more frequently dishonest in this period than he was elsewhere last year, and elsewhere last year was also more dishonest than he was in 2017. So aside from that midterm spike, there has been a general increase between 2017, 2018, and now 2019.